This is Avantree's Cara II Bluetooth speakerphone car kit using an auxiliary port. Keep in mind when you're looking at this device and when you're thinking about getting this device that this is the type that uses an auxiliary port, and you have to have an auxiliary port for whatever you're planning to use it in the car or a stereo. So if you don't have an auxiliary port, you really can't use this device. So keep that in mind if you get this device. As you can see, included with the device here is the instruction manual, which is actually a good one, the warranty card, a cigarette lighter plug that has the dual ports for charging 2 devices at once, including a tablet if you want, which is a good touch. It comes with a micro USB charging cable, which is about a little over 2 feet in length, an auxiliary audio cable, which is about a little over 3 feet in length, an extension for the auxiliary cable, which is about another 3 feet in length or so, and what they call a magnetic attachment. In reality, it's some Velcro that you can, it's some Velcro that you can stick on the dash and stick the device to. It's got LED, LEDs on it to show you that it's charging, connected, and all that jazz. Charging was fairly quick. Pairing the device, I tried it both on my Galaxy S4 and an old Droid X2, and they paired very easily with that. The battery life is pretty good overall. I mean, I didn't actually stick it up on the dash, but I mean, I kept it in the car on the dash and used it for several days, and the charge lasted for several days before I had to charge it back up again. The one thing I do like about this device over some of the others is it has a simple design. It has a on-off switch here on the bottom. You've got your plug for your charging right here, your auxiliary at the bottom as well. But one button, simple design for answering and hanging up calls and for playing and pausing music. I kind of like the simplistic design, especially if you're using this in the car. It makes it easier to just hit the button to answer the call as opposed to some that have more than one button or smaller buttons. I tried this out on several calls. Calls were clear, even though I didn't have it probably properly placed, because like I said, I didn't stick it up there on the dash. I just kind of put it up there in a section by my steering wheel and used it. Music was also clear through this. I had no issues of it cutting out or anything like that. Again, one thing that I always talk about with these type of auxiliary devices, which I'm not a huge fan of in general, just because depending on the quality of your auxiliary port is going to be the quality of how this sounds. If you have an older car with an older auxiliary port or auxiliary port that's not great quality, you're going to possibly get some interference or sound degradation more than what you would with the better quality auxiliary port or newer cars with an auxiliary port. But I didn't experience that with this at all. It did a good job. The one thing I like about this is it automatically connects your phone when you turn on the car and start it up. And it has voice alerts that kind of let you know when your battery's low and when you need to pair or your phone is connected. So overall, I mean, this is a good option for if you lack the space to have some other of the other options that are out there, and that you only have an auxiliary port to utilize. If you want to make something your car stereo Bluetooth, it has a good compact design. It's easy to use. It has a large button, which I like. It makes it easier to hit the button and answer the calls. However, the downside of this is it's a little more expensive at $40 currently than some of the other cheaper options out there. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this. If this is a little bit more expensive option, but it's a good option, especially if you want a real compact design. I give this 4 stars.